Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Codarts TV. My name is Daniel Dominguez Jimenez. I'm a third-year student of Bachelor in Dance at Codarts Rotterdam, and I'm also the founder of a collective artist team called Captcha. Today and this evening, I will be your host. Let's talk about the Blind Date Project. What is exactly the Blind Date Project? Let me answer this. It's a collective project between third-year students of Bachelor in Dance, students of Rotterdam Conservatory Bachelor in Composition at Codarts, and students of Willem de Koning Academy, Rotterdam University of Fine Arts. It's a project which creative dancers, composers, fashion, and visual arts collaborate to investigate a common theme. We were divided in 3 groups during the creation and realization of individual pieces. The whole process took about 2 weeks. In this project, each student played an active role. During the entire working process, we learned from each other how to communicate, develop a common theme, and finally, how to realize it. During this period, we were guided by a feedback coaching team consisting of several guest lectures. The feedback coaching team comment on the process, integration, and content. The feedback team are the teachers and experts from the file of music, visual, and dance. It's been 1 year since the first lockdown, the 12th of March, the day of my birthday, and I'm so happy to be here today with you, just talking and communicating this project with you. As with everything nowadays and due to COVID, this project took a new form this year. Instead of live performances, we were challenged to create short films. It has a new media for all of us, adding an extra challenge. All communication and creative process happen online. Only shooting days we were allowed to be live in small groups. But this project was all about the process. The theme of this year was, let me guess, virtual empathy. And tonight you will see the result of this project. I would like to introduce you the first piece, Rhizomatic, and we will talk with Amy Lim, a dancer, and Duffy, a photographer. Thank you for being here, and let's just dive more into how was the filming process about Rhizomatic. Could you explain us?
Yeah, I think for me it was very important to challenge myself as a photographer to go more in depth and learn about filmmaking. With my background in dance, I really was looking forward to this project, working with dancers and also different kind of dancers from Codarts. My background is in hip-hop. So for me it was also really interesting to see how we would combine all our processes, like the artistic process from the dancer, the artistic process from more the visual artist, and see how that would work in 2 weeks.
And could you tell me more about, because you were behind the camera recording and the theme is about virtual empathy, what you were feeling when you were just shooting those images?
Yeah, I think for me it was really important to have close shots so that the audience could really feel the emotions from the dancers, and I think for the dancers as well, it was really important to connect with each other, but at the same time hold the distance, also physically. But I think we did a really great job with articulating the empathy between each other, even though we had physical and online distance.
Nice, thank you. Now let's go into Amy Lim. I would really know how was the moving process and the creative process of the movement in this movie for you?
I think it was quite interesting because some of us were in quarantine, and so we were all a bit separate. So I can only speak from personal perspective. I worked with my roommates because we were quarantining together, and we did a scene in our house being inspired by what was around us, working with intimacy with each other, working with vulnerability, and playing with what was seen by the camera, what was seen by the viewer. So we really wanted to capture small, intimate moments that maybe friends would share or just two humans would share, and see how that could impact a viewer into having empathy towards us, or maybe having their own shared experiences with it, or maybe a memory connected to it. So these small gestures and minimalistic movements we really wanted to include and explore. And I think for some of the groups that were working in the studio, it was really interesting for them to create movement that was for a camera, because we're not sort of used to that. So normally we're working with a live audience, so it was really interesting for everyone to kind of think about the viewer through a camera.
Yes, so interesting. It's going to be really exciting to see the Rhizomatic piece, knowing more about how Amy was experiencing this intimacy and how she had to deal with this lockdown, because that was, as we said, the challenge of how to create through using all the time Zoom meetings that caused some struggles between our group, I feel, and how at the end we could just go for it, try to transmit that virtual empathy that I hope you can really feeling what we are feeling here right now. And I just would like to introduce the movie, and I hope you can just enjoy it.
A little hard to hear this feedback. I will be totally honest and say that it does make us question and feel, especially I don't know how to explain it, but also it goes back the other way. It's not only about we understand your point of view. I don't know. I get it, and that's what last night I was really thinking about it a lot, and it really affects me a lot.
La légende recouvre le monde. 无限的变化 plus là-bas. 情感数学 après la lumière. 人最复杂的旅行 après la lumière. Après la lumière. I always like self-doubting a bit. Yeah, that's really cool. And so it's like hard to be like, did we? When you put that out there, it puts another perspective. Oh, did we do something wrong? Which I think about it now and again and again and again and again.
artistic decision, because that's not about what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying that I feel more comfortable for the scene. It's just, yeah, it's not about wrong or right. So don't question yourself.
It's hard though, because also makes it a little bit also maybe it felt like us that we were now a little bit unsafe to experiment in things. Also because we just put it out there as kind of like, hey, yeah, let's check this out, what we try to make, but then also it makes us a little bit question. So, but we do appreciate you being honest about it, because we didn't want to make anything that would make you uncomfortable at all. So good that you speak out, but also just know that we were also affected by that and also question.
A limited number of change, mathematic of feeling, and the most complex algorithm for soul travel, rewinding the cassette of time, jumping from the ancient past to the distant future. And as soon as one of the algorithm comes in, the show begins. Feel familiar air on someone else's skin, being there a second ago, and now rushing towards the meeting of the light, leaving the physical shell to guard. Of course, it will come back, as soon as it spreads the waves there, and it will be rushed back in reflections, dimming the light, carrying drops of experience in its hands, and it will become completely strange, infinity, quiet, and happy.
Thank you very much for being back here in the studio with us. I hope you could enjoy Rhizomatic. And now we will go in depth into the second piece called Captcha. And I would like to introduce these people that we have here in the studio.
Thank you.
To my right, we have Jonathan Meyer, he's a dancer. Then we have Rafaelos Christofi, a composer. And here in my left, we have Julia Willem from Fine Arts. My first question, it comes about the title. What does that mean, Captcha? And we expect to, maybe that's gonna clarify the piece that we are gonna see. And I would like to do this question to Julia.
Okay. So Captcha comes from completely automated public Turing tests that tell computers and humans apart. And basically, when you navigate the internet and sometimes you want to access a certain site and then it asks you to figure out on which image you see a traffic light, or you have to figure out what kind of letters you see, or sometimes you just have to tick a box and then it says, oh, okay, you are not a robot. And we found that quite curious and strange that you have to prove that you're a human, what makes you human, or what differs intelligent humans from intelligent machines. So that was kind of the starting point for our video, to think about, what does it mean to be human, and then also what does it mean to navigate online environments when a lot is about data extraction and you actually don't really know what's going on behind the scenes in a way. So that was what we were curious about.
And what kind of tools did you use to transform this Captcha theme into your movie?
Yeah, maybe I can refer to Jonathan.
To Jonathan. Let's go to
yeah.
Jonathan about the movie.
Well, and actually we talked about, very early on, we talked about making a game. It sort of made sense in this virtual reality theme. And so you will see in the film that it imitates sort of a game and this virtual world, and what it means to put humans in there, and what in like navigating whether you're a human or whether you're not a human is the big question of the film and the big aim of the game in Captcha as well. So this is, in short, how we did that.
Nice. I also saw the film and I saw that you had a fight between Doreya and you.
Yes.
Could you go more in depth? How was that creative process? And
Yeah. So me and another dancer, Doreya, created this duet. So Doreya here in this scene is the player of the game, and she encounters me. And we have a fight, and the inspiration was to find out like what we had this question, you know, what makes human, what makes robot, and one of the things we came up with is a human can feel pain. So we created this scene to see as a test like how can you inflict pain, and obviously if you can inflict pain on someone, they must be human, is the simple idea. And then we created this fight duet, and actually went very fast. About 20 minutes it took to make it. But when you have inspiration like this, it's easier, I think.
that's super cool. And now we have the movement, we know also more about Captcha, but what was the sound? What are we gonna hear in this movie? If Rafaelos could talk about that.
Well, normally in film scoring, you first have the picture load, you first have the movie, and then you write the music. It's safer like this. But because of the time that we had to work parallel. So every time me and my colleague Otto were thinking of something or recording something, we were going straight to the dancers and showing to them and trying to figure out if somehow we are linked. And in the first days, we said with Otto, okay, we're doing a game. So either we go full into this retro kind of game sounds, or we find something else, but we decided to go fully in that. Because for example, with the fight scene, except from the music, because we also had to do the Foley and the sound design. The sound design is intentionally super, 80s retro game-like, so not realistic. And we loved that idea, so we based our whole process around it. And we divided the heavy composing in between me and Otto. But it was mostly fast. We have an idea, we record, we show to the dancers, they work on that, or we see something and we work on them, and we do it fast. And we do it very, 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 very fast. And it was super stressing and nerve-wracking. But it was really, really, really fun.
Could you make some sounds of what are they gonna listen? What is this 80s sound?
For example, in the fight scene, I had one day in the recording session, Dorea, she came and I told her, make sounds like you're fighting with somebody, and she started, and we started like coaching her and encouraging her and feel like I'm hitting you in the stomach, and she came, these kind of anime styles. Then we recorded also Otto, I recorded also myself, and we did a mix of it. And so for example, when you hear Jonathan, you don't actually hear Jonathan, you hear me and Otto. When you hear Dorea, sometimes it's Otto. So and we also, another goal that we had is that we tried to record acoustically as much as we could. So everything you hear, mostly everything you hear, it was recorded by our amplifiers or with piano. For example, for the pain piece about the fight scene, I did it whole using the piano, and I had to find quick solutions because low budget and low time. So
True.
at some point I stuck my head inside the piano and I was doing the breath sound design. So because we didn't have any other way, so we had to find quick and fast solutions.
Yeah, I think they are gonna enjoy the movie. They are gonna hear and really get. Now that you know more about Captcha, you will see that film in different eyes. And also, if you want to know more about them, you can always go into Cap Tel Aviv on the YouTube channel and check more about that. But let's go and enjoy Captcha.
Welcome to Captcha. The goal of this game is to tell human and machine input apart. Choose your character by pressing the arrows on your keyboard. Watch out, world. Better safe than sorry. Smooth. The Archangel Gabriel did her hair. He woke up like this. Flawless. Whoa, that dress looks fierce. Good choice. Let us get started. Your role in this game will be to encounter other players and find ways of interaction that help you determine if they are human. Each environment will have its own momentum, velocity, and texture. Different avatars thrive in different chemical compositions, as stimuli spawn molecules which are released into your nervous system. Mission 1: Identify organic reactions / release adrenaline. Congratulations, you have completed your first screening. Mission 2: Liquefy limits / release oxytocin. Second screening completed. Mission 3, train the perpetual/hormonal imbalance. Increase speed. Faster, faster. Speed not sufficient. Mission. Rear right. 5023 7180. 6 Ox 48 PA/mil.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed Captcha. Let me ask you a question. Are you robots? Okay, that was a bad joke, sorry. Everyone told me don't say it, but I just did it. We are here now, just gonna introduce Lemon Business, our last film. And let's them present themselves. Let's start with this beautiful person here.
I'm Graziana Veneziano and I study in the third year of Codarts.
Amazing.
I'm Alan and I'm studying my first year at Codarts.
And
Hi,
what are
I'm
you studying?
Music.
Amazing. And
Hi, I'm Aaron, and I also study with Graziana here at Codarts.
okay, let's dive into questions. Lemon business. Graziana, can you tell us what's the relation for that title, a lemon and business?
I would say that we didn't really have a meaning to it, but as soon as we started to play with lemons, and you will see it in our film, we started to physically also play with it. So, like, we really couldn't like call it differently.
had
Like
to
this
be
piece, like it
business.
really had to be like this, and yeah, we really liked it, and we chose this title.
And why did you start playing with lemons?
It was just like very random. One day we started to say like, okay, let's buy lemons and let's see what comes physically, how we can play with it, and how can we also make it symbolic a bit in our piece, and yeah, also the sense of bitter of life in a way. But yeah, on this
The
side.
bitter of life. I
Yeah.
like that. Do you think life is bitter, Alan?
I mean, some moments it is, and I guess also with like having to empathize with someone, you know, it's not always easy. You know, that's or how I connected to lemon business. You know, it can be a very uneasy thing to go through, having to put yourself into someone's shoes, and for me, I think that's where the title really fits.
Okay, cool. Nice. Now I would like to know about, because you record in a lot of places. Can you summarize those places? For example, Alan, tell us where did you record, why, and also what was the most risky scene that you had to record?
Well, there is the main scene that was like kind of the background was the mass tunnel, which we had to get permission for and everything like that. So it wasn't like, it was pretty easy to film there, but we had some other locations that was just like, oh, are we allowed to be here, are we not? And we kind of just figured it out, you know. There's a lot of different places that we checked out. It's kind of hard to pinpoint all of them in the video too.
Okay.
Yeah.
And to ask permission for the tunnel, what did you have to do? Where did you contact?
Didn't we ask Josue? Yeah, Jose, he
Yes.
had a contact we
Okay.
could ask, and luckily it went pretty smoothly. We got 2 days to film, or 2 evenings, which was very interesting, having to go late at night in the tunnel and still finding people running and having to, you know, stop filming because people are coming in the shots and stuff like that.
Those two guys that like wouldn't stop getting in the shot.
No, they were going up and down, and we had to stop like 5 times.
Really?
But yeah.
Yeah.
Because in the movie I don't see anyone, right? You managed to be
Yeah,
able to
we
just
managed
watch
with
the
Alan
dancers.
going with the bike
Yeah.
and saying like,
I was
hey,
standing
please don't
guard.
come. We're
You
filming.
shall not
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people was reacting good, or they were like, "Who are you to tell me this?"
Yeah, people got really confused. They were just like,
What?
Yeah.
What? Cameras?
how many minutes? How many?
Yeah.
Okay. And in the movie we can also see that there's like a painting, right? We would love to know more about that. Could you, Aaron, tell us the meaning of that painting?
That painting was made by Phila, one of the Willem de Koning students, and I guess we were thinking like how to bring other disciplines in this project, since it is a collaborative project. So we were thinking Willem de Koning has the green screen, and what else can we put like for the background? And we thought would be a good idea for Phila to make a painting for us, and that's what she created, and she had total freedom, and it's amazing with what she, like, you know, from our concept that she created that. Yeah.
That painting was inspired also in your creative process, because there's a lot of bodies there.
Yes, because we wanted something that includes everybody, so it was something very, you know, a collective process, and yeah, we wanted to put that in, you know, a more literally visual form. Yeah.
Okay. And you guys, as a dancers, did you struggle in some scenes because of weather or because of the floor was not really prepare? How it was?
I think it was really nice to just experience, because we really had a lot of location, as you said before. It was just nice to experience space and things that were around us and to really connect to them as well and to each other also. So we just really love to see what's gonna happen without any.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was also about like adapting, because some places like the tunnel we had a smooth surface, and then like in some other places we had like stuff all around, or we would be in a park or something like that. So it's just fun to adapt and you know, figure a way around things.
Actually, I remember that you almost got injured in one of those.
Not
scenes.
almost, I did. Yeah, I sprained my ankle in one of the shots. It was actually the last shot, the last day. But yeah, luckily it wasn't too serious, but yeah, it was a bit unfortunate.
And now you're ready to dance in the totem, right? In the time.
Fully.
Nice. I would like to just go for the last thing, because we talk about the process, but the editing was also a part of the process. I know that Alan, you were a bit involved in that.
Yeah.
Could you explain how was that?
Very tedious. Because we had like a lot of material we had to work with, and it was first we needed to organize all of it. So by the time it was maybe like a week after the editing, we'd only had it all organized and not started anything. And then it was kind of weird to decide like what to put where, because we just had way too much material that was all amazing.
Yeah.
And you also had to put some effects, right, into the editing part, colors and.
Yeah, just those are like kind of finishing touches and stuff with colors and everything.
Yeah, but that's what makes this a movie amazing.
Yeah, of course.
Right? And they are gonna see it in a vid for just saying, let's go, right, guys? Are you ready to go and see Lemon Business? What's about lemons, editing, people in the tunnel? Go, and I hope you enjoy it.
me or throwing black while stuck in white. I'm sorry. Do you hear me? I'm sorry. Clean and dirty shoes and hands. Misunderstand. Burden of human kiss. The act of human touches. Understand the choices. Selling inside out. Misunderstand. Black while stuck in white. I'm sorry. Misunderstandings. I'm sorry. Would you please repeat it all again? That bullshits. Would you please repeat it all again? Misunderstanding. Miss me under the standards. Standing under the missing tree. Is it a mystery? Or just a way of living? Believing. Feeling.
How could we overcome personal borders and see that there is someone else next to me, feeling like me? Which movement influence each other? How can I communicate with someone who is in pain, grief, sadness, without taking action before that person, but for and together with? How do we trigger a reaction in the other that can lead towards sharing and letting go?
How can we overcome personal borders and see that there's someone else next to me, feeling like me? Which movement influence each other?
Who has to let go?
I communicate with someone who is in pain, grief, sadness, without taking action before and together with.
Who has to let go? Who has to let go?
Welcome back and thank you for being here. We are almost in the end of this performance, but it's the end of the show. It's done. I'm just gonna say thank you very much for being here watching these amazing 3 pieces. Also, we would like to give a special thank you to our feedback coaches from Willem de Koning, Julia Muyer and Karin Aronik, our composers Robin de Raaf and Josue Amador, our choreographers Sara Bixtorovic, and our artistic project leader Sania Masher Hasseig. Do not forget the AVE production team here at Codarts and all our fellow students, teachers, and staff for their continuous support. We are looking forward to seeing you again, hopefully next time, live in our next performance. I hope you enjoy it, and I wish you to have a nice evening. Thank you very much.
you